Hey guys, welcome back to my workshop. Last time we met, I took out this bass bar. Next thing to do is go around and measure the thicknesses, and then we'll figure out how we want to adjust it from there. Now to do that, I have one of two tools. The traditional one is this guy right here. And you see it? Yeah, I'll turn sideways. So it's got the needle that goes up and down here with the millimeters marked on the gauge. Alright, let's turn this. Right. Okay. There we go. And then if I was measuring it with this, this doesn't work too much, this lever here, but if you pick this guy up, sandwich it in between there, roll it back and forth, you're looking for the lowest number as this needle sways back and forth and as you tilt it. So this one's looking like around 3 millimeters. However, another way to do it, the more modern way to do it, is I went and I bought one of these little calipers. So you turn it off, zero it out, and now I had to go to my grinder and point a little tip here because this part was flat, which wouldn't give you an exact measurement. Alright, so I'm gonna go right here. And 3. I mean, it's all over the place. So what I'm going to do, measure all the way around the perimeter and mark down what it is. And now, right before that, I'm going to draw on the 3 zones that I typically use to do the graduating first. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this. Like that. This gives me an idea, basically. Now, here you go. If you look, you can see 3 zones, the outside, the inner part here, and then this guy down here. I just measured it, and I wrote in all my measures. As you can see, I got them all the way around, and they're all really pretty much thicker than I prefer. You got to think about, you know, the wood vibrates here. So if you have a board that is thicker, it's not going to vibrate as much, therefore causing the instrument not to have like a nice resonant tone. You know what I mean? I'll show you how I go about redoing little bit by little bit all the way around, and how we can finish it up before we have to start getting this ready for our own bass bar. So I hope you guys had a good holiday, and I'll see you when we get back. Hey everybody, so last time we talked, I had this top plate off, bass bar was off, and I went through with my digital caliper to measure the existing top plate. And I mean, I'm looking at it, and it is it's all over the place. I like to keep a fairly simple graduation towards the center. So typically, and you guys see it here, you see that I have it separated in the zones. I have this outer zone, this zone that goes around it, and then the middle zone right up here, and they're just all over the place. And I have 3 different textbooks that I usually pull measurements from, and they are all over the place. It's kind of one of those, everybody's got their own opinion. So I basically keep it simple. So around the edges, I try to keep it about 2 millimeters, or as close to it as you can get. This middle section, I up it to 2.5. And then in this middle section, I like to be around 3. So that way you have a big sturdy section here in the middle, and then with the thinner parts around the outside, it really helps with the resonance of the instrument. So what we do now, zero this guy out. All right. So what I will use to start off with is this finger plane right here, and then once that gets the bulk of this stuff out of the off of it, and then what I'll use is something like this is called a scraper, and it's literally just a piece of metal. What I'll do is I'll take this file here, and I'll run it along this little curved edge that I have here. This is one of my metal files, not one of my wooden files. And what it does is it takes the edge of this scraper and just kind of peels it over like that. So you can actually scrape it, and it takes the high parts away, similar to sanding, but this is a little bit more effective than sanding. So I have my scraper, I have my caliper, and I have my little finger plane. Now I do have a smaller finger plane that I'll use for like when I shape bass bars, and you'll see it when we put that in there. But all right, so I'll start on the outside. I always like to start right here and kind of work my way around. I like to work my way around the outside. Then I'll go to the next section in. So typically this direction usually works pretty good. So I'll kind of separate that, or I'll stabilize that here with my arm right here. And then this is sitting down on, this is just a towel, kind of provide a little padding here. And I'll just start back here. There we go. Yep, this one's got a weird little thing where it wants to go from the opposite direction. Okay. Hey guys. Well, right now it is Monday evening, and I finally got to sit down and graduate the rest of this. You can see, I don't know if you can see right here. Let me try to put this down on here. Look at all the wood that has been hogged out of this thing. This is how much wood has been taken out of this top plate, which kind of just goes to show you how thick these things can be. And really, as they are thicker, they don't vibrate as freely. Therefore, it's going to bring down the resonance on your instrument. So my goal is always to stabilize in the important spots, but try to keep it as thin on the top and the bottom as possible to just let that let that instrument vibrate. So I got it down to the same thicknesses I was talking about. So around the edges is pretty much 2. Right here in the corners, though, I kept it about 2.25 millimeters. The next section is about 2 1/4, 2 1/2. And then down the middle here, I keep it at 3. So now the only thing left to do for this top part before we set it up for the bass bar is to just take my scraper, take my sandpaper, and just clean it up, make it as smooth as possible. And then, so next week, we will take this and we will map out where we're going to put our bass bar, and we're going to fit our bass bar. So thank you guys very much, and I will see you next week.